Welcome to Hearts in Harmony. We share knowledge and tips on healthy sex, helping couples and spouses bond, understand each other better, and enjoy a happy, fulfilling life. From exploring the stages of making love to important notes, Hearts in Harmony gives you the confidence and inspiration to love and care for your partner to the fullest. What is the G-spot? The G-spot is often known as a point that when touched will bring a feeling of excitement and sexual stimulation. However, is the G-spot medically like that? And where is it located on the female body and where is it located on the male body? In this video, we will learn more about what the G-spot actually is and are the G-spots of men and women much different? At the same time, the video content will also point out the location of the G-spot in women and the G-spot in men. Please read the article content. What is the G-spot? The G-spot is a point that when touched will create a feeling of sexual arousal. The G-spot is not a part or an organ of the genitals, however. It is closely related to leading to orgasm during sex. What is a woman's G-spot and where is it located? A woman's G-spot is a point located inside the anterior vaginal wall. This is a sensitive point when touched, or more specifically, when stimulated at the G-spot. Women will feel a feeling of satisfaction and sexual arousal, even orgasm. A woman's G-spot has the scientific name Grafenberg, named after the German scientist Ernst Grafenberg, a researcher on anatomy and reproductive function. Where is a woman's G-spot located? The G-spot is located along the urethra, above the vagina. This point can vary from person to person, but in general it is usually on the front wall of the vagina and behind the pubic bone. From the outside of the vagina, about 2 to 4 centimeters in, you can easily touch the G-spot. Many experts believe that the G-spot of women is usually located along the front wall, inside the vagina, 2 to 4 centimeters from the vaginal wall when the woman is lying on her back. Although most women have the same G-spot structure, the location of the G-spot may be different for each person. Some women have the G-spot located higher than the vagina. Meanwhile, some women have the G-spot located closer to the vagina. How to find a woman's G-spot? Once you have determined what a woman's G-spot is and where it is located, you can find a woman's G-spot by following these steps. Step 1. Relax and loosen your body so that the vagina gradually loosens. Step 2. Foreplay with a vaginal massage to secrete vaginal lubrication. Vaginal discharge. Step 3. Insert your fingers a few centimeters up. Bend your fingers, then shake them toward the navel. Step 4. Make rhythmic movements of your fingers up and down, instead of in and out, to find the position that gives you the most pleasure. When you have pleasure at any point in the vagina, it could be the G-spot. What is the G-spot of men and where is it located? The G-spot of men is a small, extremely sensitive spot located on the prostate gland. Medically, the G-spot of men is abbreviated as the P-spot, prostate, also known as the prostate gland. This is a small gland the size of a walnut located at the intersection of the prostate gland and the bladder, which is the G-spot of men. The prostate gland is an organ located inside the anus, between the base of the penis and the rectum, leading to the anus, located just below the bladder and surrounding the urethra. The G-spot of men is the size of a walnut. This area consists of 3 zones: the peripheral zone surrounding the posterior urethra, which makes up 75% of the prostate. This is the urethral tube that runs through the penis. The central zone, which makes up about 5% to 8% of the prostate. This zone surrounds the ejaculatory ducts, which allow semen to pass through the penis. The transition zone, which makes up 20% of the prostate. This is a band of fibrous muscle that surrounds and forms the prostate. Where is the male G-spot? The male G-spot is exactly where the prostate gland is. It is approximately 3 to 5 centimeters from the outside of the anus to the G-spot. How to find the male G-spot. Once you have determined what the male G-spot is and where it is located, you can find the male G-spot by following these steps. Step 1. Put a condom on the finger you are using for stimulation. Step 2. Apply lubricant to your finger. Step 3. Caress his inner thighs and scrotum. Step 4. Slowly insert your finger into the rectum about 3 to 5 centimeters. Step 5. Gently move in and out and slide along the front of the rectum towards the penis. Step 6. The G-spot is a smooth, soft bulge. Slowly stimulate and caress his G-spot. Notes when touching or stimulating the G-spot. Ask your partner's opinion before doing it. You should get his consent before touching the G-spot, because if he does not feel comfortable, the anal muscles for men or the vaginal muscles for women will contract and tighten. Cut your nails. Clean your fingers and hands to avoid injuring or scratching the mucous membrane inside the anus of your partner. Help your partner relax before touching his G-spot. You can perform body massage, kiss, and caress to help your partner's body gradually relax and be ready to stimulate or touch the G-spot. When learning about what the G-spot is, regardless of whether it is a man's or a woman's G-spot, you need to remember that the G-spot is not the only point that creates pleasure or orgasm when touched. Instead, when learning what the G-spot is, you will need to distinguish between the anatomical G-spot and the G-spot as a stimulating point during sex. Which sexual positions are easy to hit a woman's G-spot? What is the G-spot in sexual positions? Although there is no general formula for finding a woman's G-spot, there are some sexual positions that can help reach sensitive points in the vagina more easily. The following sexual positions can help you better control your body movements to help find your own G-spot. Although there is no formula for finding the G-spot exactly, there are also some sexual positions that can help you hit a woman's G-spot more easily. Cowgirl position, woman on top. Missionary position, woman's legs slightly closed. Why can't I climax during sex? Is it because I can't hit the G-spot? In fact, whether or not sex reaches climax depends on each person's sexual ability and needs. However, it is not necessarily because of not touching the G-spot that orgasm is not achieved. So what is the G-spot and how important is it in sex? Here are some reasons why you do not reach orgasm during sex. Lack of sexual experience, first-time sex. Due to psychological stress or not really ready for sex. Foreplay is not stimulating enough. For both men and women, foreplay that is not stimulating enough will not be enough for the vagina to secrete lubricant, thereby making vaginal penetration difficult. In fact, the G-spot is a point that when mentioned, most people will think that this is a point that, if touched, will lead to orgasm in both men and women. However, if we understand the G-spot as a sexual stimulation point, there are still many other sensitive points on the body, which we can mention, such as earlobes, neck, chest, nipples, abdomen, inner thighs, glands, penis, testicles, clitoris. In short, the G-spot is not an anatomically listed point as well as a reproductive function. However, it plays a particularly important role in creating sexual stimulation during sex. Hopefully the video content has helped you know exactly what the G-spot is and distinguish between the G-spot of men and the G-spot of women.
If you find the video useful, do not forget to like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Also, follow Harmonious Heart to wait for other useful information on the topic of sexual health. I will leave links to love products for men, women and couples below the description, where those who are interested can follow the link.